Hello, friends. We are awakening to the real. We are tuning in. We are opening up. We are looking at life, looking at reality, coming to see where we what choices we have made, where we are at in life, so that we can come to enjoy life. In all simplicity, that is what we're doing. We're here to enjoy life. So these Wisdom Wednesdays, these sessions, you may say, are kind of made here to help you to engage with this. As we often need a guide of some sort to kind of have some kind of guiding light when we kind of get stuck in all the noise. So that is why we are doing these Wisdom Wednesday. That's why I'm giving these talks. That's why we have one-on-ones once in a while. It is to help you on this journey that I've myself undertaken, which will lead you into all kinds of challenges. It's not the most easy of journeys. So you will actually have to confront your ego. You have to confront your pain, your emotions, your desire, your sadness, your loneliness, your desire, your thoughts, your choices. And that's kind of the whole thing here. This we're kind of looking at choices. And choices in our divine guidance, which we all are, which kind of led you here to kind of open up to be guided, divinely guided, which is like to start awakening to your divine nature. And in that divine nature, you will find enjoyment in life, free from the suffering of life. And that choice to start enjoying life is what we have to come to find. Different places. You can find it within your relationship, within your work, within your family, within your friendships, within your nation, within life, within God, within everything. You can find grace. So that's what we're doing here. So we're kind of creating this space as it is a choice. There needs to be something within you that is divinely called, something that pulls you, that kind of wants to move out of just ordinary life, just being fine with societal the structure, to dare to kind of take responsibility for the choices that the life you are leading. Dare to truly kind of come into the choice. So we're all taken many choices since we were little. Ever since we were born, we have made many choices. Sometimes the choices came from us, sometimes they came from others, but at the bottom, we were always came from our divine calling, made the choice, our spiritual being, if you may. So these choices are somewhat hidden, mostly for most people, because we think we don't want any suffering, we don't want any challenges, we don't want any pain, we don't want any emotions. And yet, all these are chosen by us at some level. And as we are kind of like a radio, all these emotions that we have taken on, when you take on an emotion, whether it's somebody else's or your own, it's kind of like you're creating this feedback loop. So that's why people can feel stuck in their desire, stuck in their sadness, stuck in their happiness, stuck in their anxiety, nervousness. They can feel stuck in their pain, stuck in their body, stuck in their suffering, stuck in their ideas of life. Because when you accept something, then you can accept anything. And you are kind of led, like people like, accept this, choose this. So you do. But in the moment you can, if you accept it and then it actually you're just holding on to a feedback loop, it will just keep coming back and back and back. That's when people be like, you're always gonna be an alcoholic, or you're always gonna be depressed. So it's gonna keep coming back. So that is one aspect of reality before you realize that when you return to your divine nature and you can find choices that are hidden deep within, then you come to reality, and you can start enjoying reality. There's different choices that will arise. So that is kind of what we're here to do. Let's see if I can get this one. Nope. Still. So hear this, like you have these emotions that we take on. It's like energy feedback loops that they become like a screaming kid wanting attention. So the kid thinks they need to scream to get attention, but they could just be like, they could tap you on the shoulder and be like, can you give me some attention? It can come from like kindness and simplicity. And yet we have kind of been trained that we have to kind of scream. When you scream, you don't really hear anything. You're not really hearing if you get attention. People have to literally scream back at you, at the kid, and they hear it. But if you just say, hey, they keep screaming because they've now created this intense reality of life. So these emotions are like kind of become all this static. Everybody's screaming. Your inner emotions are screaming, so you're not able to hear the choices behind the emotions. You're not able to hear what you have chosen. So thus you're not able to kind of reach reality, reach the real. But that is kind of the choice here. We are kind of, I'm allowing you, I'm guiding you, I'm inviting you on this journey to kind of tap into your divine nature and to start looking at the choice, looking at the emotions, and hence start seeing the choices, looking at your life, and hence starting to see the direction it's heading. And thus you start seeing what choices you make. And when you start seeing the choices, which kind of takes time because you kind of have to peel off a lot of layers, so they don't come right away. Some choices do, others are hidden deep within. And when you start finding the choices, you might realize that the choice is actually going to continue. Other choices you might have taken on for somebody else. But every choice is a beautiful teaching. It gives you bountiful, boundless experience. It's like a treasure trove, treasure chest. So when you realize the choice and how much you can learn from all these emotions, then you start enjoying even the journey back to the real, back to your divine nature. So you don't, there's not too much needed to be done, but you still have to choose it, as this isn't always comfortable to awaken, because your body will literally have to clean up. You will release stuff. You will go through emotions. You will actually allow yourself to go deeper into your emotions. As you become more mature, you allow yourself to kind of tap deeper, because the roots are deeply hidden. So it takes maturity to start coming down there, so that you can see them and start resolving them and kind of upgrading them. And some choices are just actually perfect the way they are for your life. And others, they might lead you to another choice. One choice leads you to the next. So then you are listening to your life. Your life is the divine nature given to you, the connection to grace, and you are kind of flowing with this energy. And yet it takes time to see, it takes time to feel, because we're all kind of focused on all our emotions, focusing all on all the static. So it takes time to peel off the layers, which we are doing here. So whether this is your first time or you've been here before, it doesn't matter. But this, I'm not kind of proposing or giving any meditation or any kind of practice. I'm just inviting you to show up as the energy, the path that I found, that I've opened, is kind of available. So I'm kind of giving it freely, but you still have to receive it. So that is the journey of this journey is not one that you can force. That's why a lot of people get lost in all the doings of life. It is more of a receiving, because grace is, it is given just as grace is felt, effortless. Thus I call it the ease of life, returning to the ease of being. And so whether you are here the first time or not, you could close your eyes or you could still watch me. But it's also kind of allowing yourself to receive this. Understand, we're awakening the body. Thus, that's kind of like COVID. That's sometimes people get sick or feel releases. They can get a fever, they can get a cough, they can feel inflammation in the body. As you are allowing this tension that emotions are, that we, when we're forcing ourselves, we're creating tension. So when we're kind of allowing this tension to release, we're stepping behind the ego, and thus the ego can become a flower, spring forth, because you're nurturing it instead of like forcing it and running after it. Then the ego just becomes a cherished friend. So that is kind of what we're doing here. And whether you're on YouTube or Instagram, I'm kind of talking to both. Whether you're seeing this now or you're seeing this at your own convenience, let yourself be filled with this energy that you are, that the divine grace, the divine energy, the ease of being. what we naturally have inside. So if you close your eyes, it's kind of like it's like a humbling of yourself to receive. It's not just knowing and understanding everything. The words are not the most important here. It is the showing up. It is the daring to connect with life, even if you don't know where life is leading you. That is not needed for you to enjoy your life. Life can seem harsh, it can seem confusing, it can seem pointless, but when you truly start listening to life, you listening to the divine, you will start connecting in a different way with it. That is the journey that I'm proposing for you. So if you're new, I'm glad you're here listening. Maybe you found my book, maybe you are on my Instagram or YouTube or wherever you are. But no matter what, you are here and you have the potential to be touched. So close your eyes. It's like a breath coming in. It's the act of receiving without being worthy. You don't have to be worthy. You are worthy. You don't have to feel it. You don't have to feel energy. You don't have to feel anything when I say this. It's just something inside of you are attracted to this teaching, to this talk. You might find my other talks are kind of guiding and assisting in the same way. And hence that's why I sometimes ask, follow me, subscribe. And if you want to give back, you can also give a donation on my PayPal or Venmo or Vips or whatever you are, depending on what country you're in. It's on my website or on my Instagram bio. So let yourself, the energy is coming all the way from your head, all the way down into your chest, into your hips, into your butt. And from there, it kind of overflows and keeps moving down into your legs. Yeah, and then it springs up again like a fountain, up into your belly, up into your chest, up in your face, up through your head, like a yawn. The simplicity, I'm teaching the simplicity of this, all the do's and don'ts of energy, which if you want them, you can find them everywhere. Good. It's heating up in Chicago. I'm barely able to have a shirt on. It's sweaty out here, so it's nice. Might be raining in Norway or wherever you are. Life is coming in, and it is a beautiful day to be alive. I wish for you a beautiful continual day, continual Wednesday, continual whatever day you're on here day. And I will talk to you guys soon. And yeah, if you have any questions.